Brittany. So, today's gonna be a Back in Time Watches video, and today I'll be telling you the first time that I've watched Scream 3. So, now Scream 3 was released in theaters in 2000. I did not see it at the time, but when I did first watch it, I was 14. And I remember, so I remember when I did watch it when I was 14 at the time. Of course, I kept thinking, like, where's Randy? What happened to him? Because if you had seen my other video, I mentioned that when I had seen Scream 2, even at 14, that I did not saw the part where he got killed off. So for a long time, I didn't know what happened to him. So I didn't get to see his death scene until I was 18. So watching Scream 3 the first time when I was 14, I was confused. I thought, okay, what happened to Randy? Where is he? And then of course, when his sister shows up and says that she wants them to see something, I'm like, what's that? And so putting in this videotape, I'm like, Randy did he what? So he did a tape. So he recorded himself talking about the sequel rules and trilogy rules. So I think to let Gail, Sydney, and Dewey know about those rules. So I remember thinking, like, okay, so we're seeing this tape where he did this ahead of time. Like, okay. And then after he was explaining about the rules and everything, and then he said something like, oh yeah, I think when he said, if you see this video, it means I did not make it to Winter College. I'm like, wait, what? Like, no, wait. No. You know, like, somehow I just couldn't believe that. I couldn't accept that because I had seen what happened to him before getting into Scream 3. So, oh yeah, and even at the end of the video when he said, what was it that he said? He said something like, okay, let me think here. He says something, he says that he's closing, and he says, good luck. It's something like that, and he says, oh yeah, for some of you, I'll see you soon. And then he says, he says something like that he didn't make it, that some of you may not make it. I didn't. Not if you're watching this tape. So when he said that, I remember having this shocked, sad look, and I'm like, what? Like, no, please tell me that isn't true. I can't believe that. You know, because I was completely heartbroken when he got killed off. So yeah, now that was one of the things that I thought, okay, no, I can't accept that. No, please tell me it isn't true. And that's just something that I thought and felt at the time, first watching it. And so, and of course, first watching it, I did not like how Cotton got killed off right in the beginning of Scream 3, because it's like, first we see him a little bit in the first one, but only on TV, and we've heard about him, and we've heard that he was being accused of murdering Sydney's mother. But when really that didn't happen, because Billy and Stu framed Cotton of Sydney's mother's, of her murder. And then in part 2, we see probably a little bit more of Cotton. And but then of course there are some things, I think, the way he was acting where we didn't know, okay, is he the good guy, is he not, can we trust him? But then once we had found out that we could trust him, because after what he did by killing Mrs. Loomis and letting Sydney know that he would never do anything to hurt her, it's like, okay, yeah, he's a good guy. But then, because yeah, I was kind of hoping to see more of Cotton, like even in Scream 3, maybe Scream 4, but to me, it wasn't fair that he got killed off right in the beginning of Scream 3. So it's like, that's not fair. You know, like, poor Cotton. Like, first, he went to jail, he went to prison because of what he was accused of, which he was framed for, that he never did. And yet, we get to see him in Scream 2, and just when we see him back in Scream 3, and just when we think, oh, we're gonna see more of him, and yet we don't, because it just ends right there. It's like, oh, why? So that I did not like. But of course, as we see that Sydney is living in a more isolated area, and where she goes by a different name, because she doesn't want anyone to come after her like before, you know, like in the first one and the second. So I completely understand that. But then it seems like something comes back to haunt her, because it seems like someone has found her, which was her half brother Roman. She never even knew she had a brother, but he knew about her, because he was following his mom, and yet he was the one who was talking to Billy about having an accomplice, someone to have a partner with, and to find somebody to frame for if they committed a crime. So it's like, whoa, you know, all these things. And so yeah, I remember even just seeing Roman for the first time, I did not have a good feeling about him. Like, honestly, he did not left a good impression on me. Let's just say that. And there were some other characters I did like, but even with Angelina, there was something really off about her too. So I was like, you know. So yeah, I did not quite trust her, because I knew who to trust, and that was Sydney, Gail, Dewey. So I trusted them, you know. But yeah, with Roman and like I said, Angelina, there's just something quite off about them. But yeah, so, and of course, seeing this set of Stab 2, and yet it's just crazy, because things are going on, you know, and so, you know, especially with Ghostface, it's like, okay, who is it? Because when you kind of see Ghostface here and there, and he's kind of like showing up, you don't know who is Ghostface. Is this Roman in some parts, or is it Angelina in some parts? And I do think so. I do think you don't even know who it might be within that part, but it could be one of them. It could be. You just don't know. But yeah, I do think Angelina was in on it, but I think they just did not go with that. I think somehow they didn't want two killers for the third one. But I do think so. I do think she was in on it, and somehow she partnered with Roman. Now for what reason? I don't know, maybe to get the role of Sydney, or maybe to I don't know. I don't know if there was another reason for that. But I just remember the first time watching it, I was like, okay, I don't like Roman. There's something fishy about him. And Angelina is like, okay, there's something off about her too. So it's like, I'm not trusting them. And so yeah, there was just some scenes that were just like, what? Especially when they were at the house, and just when I think Gail and Dewey were figuring something out, and then all of a sudden, the power goes out, and Ghostface is there, and the lights turn off in the house, and then, the fax was coming in, and so someone was like rewriting the script, and I think that was Roman. So he was sending in the fax, and then when Tom went inside the house, he had gotten the paper. It said something. He says, whoever smells and before he could say gas, he blows up. And the whole house. So something tells me that Ghostface was probably inside the house. He probably turned on the stove, and probably they probably didn't realize that the gas was on when they were inside the house. But since Tom was the last person that went inside to read what it said, and yet the house and himself got blown up. Like, okay, that is bizarre. I've never seen that before, and to have seen this in a Scream movie, it was just like shocking. I was like, oh my gosh, like, did they just do that? Like, what? And if you remember about what Randy said about the rules, he mentions it, but this didn't happen to Ghostface. This happened to one of the characters. Okay, because he says that if you were in a sequel, that the sequel rules apply, but if you're not in a sequel, that the sequel rules do not apply. And he said that if you find yourself in a trilogy, that there are some trilogy rules. He says, 1, the killer is going to be superhuman, so stabbing him won't work, shooting him won't work. You basically have to decapitate him or blow him up. No, and he even said chronically freeze his head. So he mentioned that. He also said, number 2, that the main character can die, and that meant Sydney. Oh yeah, and the third rule was the past will come to bite you in the ass, and that whatever you think, what you know about the past, forget it, because the past does not rest, and that whatever you think of what sins were committed in the past are about to break out and destroy you. So I do think some of those trilogy rules I'm sorry, that Randy had mentioned, I think some of those rules have happened. I think as we see maybe in Scream 4, Scream 5, and even in this one, in Scream 6, where the past will not rest, and whether we think about the past is going to come to bite you in the butt. So yeah, so I think that's one of them that keeps happening, like I said, in Scream 4, Scream 5, and I think we're going to see that in Scream 6. But have we really seen where the main character died, which would mean Sydney herself? No, I mean, it may have looked like she has been in a situation where she was close to it, but she never really died, because she's a survivor, she's strong. And I hope, if she were to come back in the 7th one, I hope that she would not die. I just hope if she were to ever come back, even for 7, Scream 7, I just hope she would really kick Ghostface butt, hard, and where she will survive. That's what I hope. But the other thing that Randy mentioned, have we really seen any where the survivors, the good characters, where if they were to kill Ghostface, did they ever chronically freeze his head? No. Has Ghostface ever been decapitated? No. And I think if it had, that would have been the most unsettling thing I would ever see. I would be like, because I hate that kind of thing. I hate the whole, no. I just hate it. It's so unnerving, it's just beyond unsettling, and it's just, you know what I mean? It's just too much. Like, I hate it. And has Ghostface ever been blown up? Like in a huge explosion for Ghostface to die? No. So those things Randy have mentioned, Ghostface has never been killed in that way of the trilogy rules that he have mentioned. So therefore we have never seen that. But will that ever happen? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it could. I think it depends on the writers if they ever want to bring those trilogy roles to the table of what Randy has said. Then yes, I do think they might if they want to, but I don't really know. But anyway, I just remember when I did saw Scream 3. Wow, I'm getting so ahead of myself here. But yes, I do remember how certain characters I felt they didn't really make a good impression on me. But yeah, I just remember loved seeing Gail, Dewey, and Sydney. And there are some parts where I felt like, oh gosh, what? And especially with the twist to the fact that Roman is Sydney's brother. And I'm like, wait, what? Okay, can you pause for me? I need to wrap my mind around this. Like, what? How? It's just one of those things. But yeah, overall, I just do love this movie. And even by the end of it, I just felt like, whoa, okay. I did not see that coming, especially that twist right there saying, yeah, I'm your brother. Now, of course, I know you didn't say that, but still, it's like, what? But yes, like I said, so I remember even after watching it, I thought, this turned out really good. I thought, okay, wow, yeah, I love this, like how I love the first, the second, and now I love this one. So yeah, even this one became my favorite. And I remember how even the movie itself left a good impression on me. And it just left me feeling like, okay, I would hope to see more Scream movies, but the thing is, that doesn't mean Ghostface doesn't scare me, because he does. And again, with Roger L. Jackson being the voice of Ghostface, he does an amazing job. And like, I think he does it so well that even just hearing it, it's like it gives you chills, gives you goosebumps. It's like, oh my gosh, But yes, yeah, I do love it. So yeah, that was the first time watching it, and yeah, I just felt like, wow, like this is good. And like that, I just felt like I want to see more. And that was it. So hope you enjoyed this memory video of the first time that I watched Scream 3. So hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what was the first time you've watched Scream 3. So, oh, and I know that Scream 6 is coming real soon, this week on Friday. And when this is going to be uploaded, it will be on, I think it'll be on Friday. So I am going to go see it, and I'll let you know what I think of it. But when I do see it, I'm going to do a spoiler free review because I'm not going to give anything away. So that's what I'm going to do. So look out for that. So hope you enjoyed this. That's all for today, and I'll see you at the movies.